Yo, 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 good people. It's your homie Herbman, and you back upside the head with another hot banger boogie. Hey, go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie Herbman is on. And if this is your first time tuning in to the Herbman Show, welcome. Go ahead and hit that logo right at the bottom of your screen, and go ahead and hit that notification bell so that you never miss what we bring to the platform. And again, like and share and comment, if you will, on the videos. We appreciate all of you that can do that for us. We're talking about the African diet, and how it is so important for the diaspora to understand and know about the African diet, to understand the science behind our diets. And if you didn't know, there have been studies on our diets and how healthy it is in the echelon of different nations and different cultures and different foods. I think the research was about over 200 nations were basically researched for their diets, and the West African diet, the West African countries, where we're talking about Gambia, the Gambia and Mali and the Senegal and places like Sierra Leone, all of these places, although they were low in income, they had some of the most healthiest foods in the world. The most healthiest foods in the world, all right, came from West Africa during this research. So that lets you know how important the African diet truly is, not just from a standpoint of what we've been missing, but when we're talking about being healthy, how can the diaspora be healthy if it is not eating the proper foods, if it does not know what proper foods to eat? So just to give you a little backdrop of what and how we used to eat our foods, mainly we ate fruits for breakfast, and we ate a lot of carbs, a lot of carbohydrates, but these were not your processed carbohydrates like we're eating for today. See, the body needs energy, and since the beginning of time, we've understood that the body needs energy. And so what we've done as far as the African diet, we gave it energy foods, and these foods are called carbohydrates. But we did it with whole foods, all right, whole organic foods like yams and cassava, okay, rice, all right. We didn't eat a whole lot of meats, okay, and then we ate different meats, things like mutton or sheep or goat, okay. We didn't eat beef a whole lot, all right, and we didn't really eat meats a whole lot unless it was special occasions. But for the most part, we ate fruits for breakfast, and lunch was the biggest meal of all concerning the African diet. Okay, lunch was the biggest meal. It was the most important meal. Okay, and at this particular time is when we ate our leafy green vegetables and our starches. Okay, this is when we had the starches and the meats. Fruits for breakfast, starch and meats and legumes and all these different things for lunch, not necessarily the meats. Now, we did use a lot of meats for flavoring when we had the opportunity to have the meats, but still, meat was never the centerpiece on the plate, okay? So right now what you're hearing is that we ate fruits for breakfast, and we ate leafy green vegetables, legumes, and beans and all these different things, onions and all of that for lunch, okay? But we did not have meat as a main staple nowhere in Africa. Nowhere in Africa. We did eat meat, but for different occasions, never on a daily basis, okay? A lot of that was due to the fact that meat was expensive, okay? And if you're dealing with low income, then we weren't gonna, eat the meats. Plus, we did a lot of bartering with our cattle and with our sheep and with our meats, and so those things were basically set back and utilized for bartering needs, okay? when one person needs something, they would barter the animals instead of eating them. So on a daily basis, you're talking about fruits, vegetables, legumes, and beans and things of that nature. So when we're talking about the African diet, when we're talking about the traditional African diet, we need to understand what foods are that we were eating. Okay, and we need to understand how we got away from those foods, but we also need to understand how we need to get back to those foods. And the most important thing to this video is to understand how healthy the African diet truly is for the African person, for the African diaspora. And again, research has been done over 200 nations, and these West African countries still reign at the top of the most healthiest diets and the most healthiest foods of all people around the world. So if we can just adopt that which we come from, if we can start delving in and start researching a little bit more into that which we come from, that is still prevalent and is still relevant today, especially when we're talking about a sick and dying world. And we don't understand how climate and all these things do really play a part in how healthy we are. Even in Africa, if you overuse the soil, then there won't be nutrients in it. Okay? So it's not like if you move there, or if you take on the same habits, which is a habit of just being greedy and consumption, then of course over time you're going to need to if you don't preserve your lands, you're going to need to have genetically modified food as well. Why? Because the ground is depleted, okay, and you need certain foods to make certain dishes, and therefore you may go to the alternative or to the hybrid or to the GMO model just to be able to provide a particular taste or a particular type of food. But it doesn't mean that it has the right constituents in it to make sure that you have a healthy body. So when we're talking about vitamins and minerals and amino acids, you have to find these combination of things that your body cannot produce on its own in the foods. And what is happening is we're not being able to find those in the foods that we're eating because we're eating processed and we're eating the standard American diet, which does not work for anybody. So I'm telling you that if you're from Africa, if you're from an African descendant, or you're from the diaspora, start studying African foods. All right, start studying African traditional foods and start utilizing those foods as your medicine. I'm your homie. I love you guys, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So go tell somebody your homie Herbman is on. And until next time, peace. Yes, sir. Love y'all.